Where's the halo? Where's the halo?
Well, I'm trying to. I've got a special light in front of me, so you should be able to see me way more clearly than before.
That's better than a halo, is it?
Well, hold on, wait. Look, there it is. There's the halo. Look.
Oh, yes.
I think
Great
that is the halo.
improvisation. Great improvisation. Well, here he is, Saint V, to look after your problems with IT, and particularly if you're approaching the sort of age that I am, 23, 24, sometimes we stumble a little and have our problems. And I've got one problem that I want to talk to you about this morning, V, because you did resolve this with a very well-known brand of people who say we look after your website, etc., and get rid of malware and so on. And there's one that's now popped up. God only knows how it got onto my system. Malware, 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 malware bites. And can I get rid of it? No, I cannot. Now, first of all, how does it get onto my site? And secondly, why can't I get rid of it?
So, Malwarebytes is a antivirus, anti-malware, anti-Trojan software, which is usually installed when performing scans and cleaning things up. So that program, in this instance, it's a good program. Now, if it's just popping up with notifications, and I know that, for example, you haven't paid for the premium subscription, it was a trial. So the trial has ended. So now it's popping up saying you need to pay for it to continue the premium. All you could do at this stage is just go to add and remove programs and uninstall Malwarebytes because it's done its job. It's kept your computer safe and clean to make sure that nothing comes up during this trial period that you were using it. um, I installed it, ran the scans. It found lots of Trojans and malware and stuff. It removed it, and it was just there scanning in real time on the premium service for free for 14 days. And then after that, it's asking for payment. So you can now uninstall Malwarebytes. It's done its job.
Right,
Um,
where do I go to uninstall?
so you could search for add and remove programs
Add and
in the
remove. Right,
yeah, just you just type in add or type the word uninstall, and it'll have a setting called add and remove programs. You click on that, it'll take you to the list of programs installed on your computer, and you can uninstall it by clicking
okay.
on the three dots. Or you can find the program, right click on the program in the start menu, and right click on the program icon, and then click on uninstall.
Yes, I've tried that, and it doesn't. It seems to be able to get around it. I'm not opposed to if this thing does the job. What I don't like is its insistence that I should keep it and should go to its premium and pay and so on and so forth, and it won't go away unless I do. Now that to me is poor marketing because all that happens is that I start to say to people, for God's sake, do not try malware bites. Whereas, my advisor says, not a bad program. Now that's very foolish on their part, if you ask me. Why is it that they're so persistent on these things?
Well, that's a question for them. The only obvious thing I could say is that they're using a marketing tactic, like a scare tactic, to say you're not protected, you need to pay for it. Many software companies do that tactic, of this pop-up showing up, and the only way you can really resolve it is two ways. You press X or get rid of it, or turn off the notifications. So that app on your computer, you can go to notification settings and say disable notifications on that particular program. The other option is you pay, obviously you pay for it. And then the other option, so there's three options. The third option is uninstall the program. There's only three things you can really do to get that pop-up to go away.
Yeah, right. Okay, I hope that everybody who, because I know that this is a problem that bothers a lot of older people, particularly because they feel that they're being manipulated by something that's out of their control. Now, the one thing that old age suffers from is thinking that it can't control things that it used to. And this one bothers me. I mean, it bothers the hell out of me. So therefore, it loses my sympathy as a company. Um, I mean, I can do a rant, a commentary, an editorial, you name it, about these things. And of course, because they're global and they are considered by millions of people as opposed to just me, they could care less what I think. But nonetheless, I do feel that perhaps it gives me an element of being in charge, as it were, if I can put on screen, this is bothering me because it is bothering me, and therefore they've lost my confidence as a company.
I understand. Yeah, I get your frustration. I think in this is not this is a very common challenge that people face, pop-ups, whether it's from a legitimate program or a program which was installed unintentionally, or even just a virus. And how would someone know if a program is or a pop-up is legit? What should they do? What should they click on? And that's why this show helps people get educated so they can be in control of their devices. They can be in control of what should or should not show up on their computer screens or laptops. Because usually that's where it pops up. So usually on a PC or a laptop, usually running Windows 11, because mobiles, it does pop up on mobiles as well, and tablets when there's a program which is wanting you to pay for the paid for version. So then those annoying pop-ups go away, and these are the tactics these companies use and rely on, hoping that I hope someone, or even a percentage of however many people get annoyed, they will want to pay just to get rid of that annoying pop-up. So this is the reason why they do it. You hit the nail on the head. It's because they um, use that approach to get people to pay, and they don't care if you like the pop up or not. They're giving you an option.
Yeah.
You either pay or experience the pop ups and find other ways of getting rid. Now I can dedicate an entire show to dealing with pop ups, um, but it's always um, a unique situation when I'm dealing with any issue, whether it's a pop-up or a program which is not functioning, or a phone issue, or a tablet issue, or a storage issue, data. It's this. It's always unique. So usually there are similarities, but that's why a one-to-one session is really important, to get to the bottom of the issue, and also to find out what the solution is, because the solution sometimes is not the same for one person as it is for another person.
Now, you mentioned face to face. It's always a pleasure to come face to face with a saint because I watch the laying on of hands and the healing of all the things that are wrong with me. But in fact, you are rolling out a trial program just for people that cleave down for the first one, but then hopefully you'll roll it out in a much wider area with brunch with thee. So for the interest of people to know what may be on the cards for them, but is explain what you've got in face to face next week.
Yeah. So these brunch sessions are designed to make it informal. Actually, so imagine I'm going to take you to another reason why, if something is happening, and something is happening right now, and I have to just v- um, just make sure that you can hear me clearly, and you can. I think you can. Can you hear a dog barking?
Yes, indeed, we can.
So this is what I'm dealing with now. I'm dealing with this situation, which I would like to deal with, but it's going to be difficult. So um, I'm going to just do something. I'm going to be right back. This is exactly the kind of challenge that happens, and then sometimes you have to just deal with it. So I will deal with it. And what I would like you to do is, um, while I'm gone for literally 30 seconds or less, is have a talk about um, what kind of problems could people have, and then when I come back, I'll explain a bit more about what this brunch is about. Okay, is
Okay,
that all right? Thank you.
all right. Now, the sort of things that I raise with the passwords, first of all, um, and he will then say, "Well, what you need is a pass key." What the hell's a pass key? That's a new one on me. Well, it's not a new one for everybody. It's been around for quite some time. It's just passed over my head. So I will get him on some occasion to explain what this pass key is all about. But passwords are a real bugaboo, and I don't always understand the advice that I'm given online. So, as V says, face to face and direct communication is very important. And
Thank
indeed,
you.
it is important. And you are very patient, I must say. Uh, can I say, don't be afraid with V. He's a splendid chap, really very, very nice chap, very knowledgeable, and he does understand the problems that we oldies, if you want to call us that, face. And he is very patient. But he's so used to dealing with people of his own age who are computer literate, he sometimes goes a bit too fast and a bit packs too much information into one session. So don't be afraid to say, "Sync, your halo is tilting slightly. Slow down, explain in words of one syllable what on earth you're talking about." Right. Now we've done the intro bits, V.
Thank you.
What's on your agenda for us this morning?
So I'll just talk about the when people are receiving help. It's great that what you said is important for um, the person giving the help to listen and to check in to see if what they just heard is what that person has said. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because it helps the person receiving the support or the guidance or the training or that they understand that they've been heard, and the answer they're going to hear from from me when I'm speaking is what they are trying to achieve. It's really important that the listening is done from my part, and then whoever's receiving that help um, knows that I've actually heard what they've got to say. Um, and that brings me to the point of the what we'd like to talk about for the rest of the show is saving time. And something that's related to saving time is just reducing stress and anxiety, which I touched on last week. Um, and in today's day and age, we get so many pop-ups, notifications, and it really does drive people into an anxiety spiral. And then they just shut down. They just shut down. I've noticed it with people that did not grow up with tech. They just either give up, or they just don't use it, or they don't want to learn. They're not care. They don't care. They're not interested because that's the only thing that they can do. The only thing they've got control over is just not using the damn thing, um, or throwing it against the wall, or, and just avoiding it. But that's a very disempowering way of dealing with the situation. I mean, if I said to you, the car doesn't start, are you not going to try to fix the car and make it work, or phone someone that knows how to do it? Yeah, of course you're going to want it. You want your car to work because that's what you used to travel with. Now that people have got cars, if you can drive, so it's really important to upskill ourselves in certain things which we're sometimes forced to use because of what's happening, what we're presented with in the world, and unfortunately, we are being pushed towards being using to going online for things, to use apps, and we're being forced to remember passwords. We're being forced to remember how to log in, and but we're not necessarily trained on how to do that. So, in relation to saving time and saving pulling our hair out and relieving us from our anxieties, I just wanted to share that there's ways that we can use technology that will save us time, so that we can do the things that we really want to do, with whatever hobbies or interests that is. Um, uh, in, I'll give an example of what I mean by saving time. Now, I'm going to talk about something that is a hot topic in relation to saving time, and also is something that gives people a lot of anxiety and stress, and that is AI, artificial intelligence. It's making people scared and worried if they're going to have a job in the corporate world, because it's taking over, uh, automating tasks which can be done by a human, and then those tasks are being now given because of that's how companies want to function and automate things and make things less dependent on humans as a single point of failure. So obviously, a human being is the highest cost, one of the highest costs, or if not the highest cost for a business to run. So I just wanted to give a chance for people to be aware that there is understanding to be done, to be had by people in relation to AI. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the brunch next week on in Clevedown on Wednesday late morning. People are scared. Normally stay in their home at home. They won't necessarily go out. People find it difficult just to ask help, even for directions. What to speak of about pop-ups, notifications, how to unsubscribe emails, or just needing help with logging on the NHS app, or doing a referral online for health issues. And it's just so it's important that things are put in a palatable format. Again, only a human being can do that. That's why an in-person gathering, have over a cup of hot drink or a cold drink, and some snacks. It always encourages people to open up and have a conversation, and that will save time and stress. So
Right.
that's why I wanted to focus on that.
Now, here's my own anti-stress machine coming in. Ha ha ha! There we are. This is Donna, who looks after me.
Try to.
She is, dare I say, what your profession was. She's an ex-copper. So I step out of line. It's very, very quickly. Get back, get back.
It is. It certainly is.
So she will carry on doing her thing, because she's very familiar with the fact that we don't mind having people in the background while we talk. And V, if you want to carry on with your very sage advice about, how we older people handle some of the problems with IT, carry on, please.
Sure. So, I mean, in relation to saving time, Um, what I would like to talk about in as using technology as a tool. So before technology was around, we had books, right? And we had people, mentors or guides or teachers or trainers or gurus or whatever the word is, for someone that has that knowledge of that thing. And we would normally go to that person and ask them for help. That's what we used to do. Now with technology, we can just ask um, a app or type in on a site or platform the question we have, and we'll be presented with the answers. So in the past, it would have taken an effort to walk down the village or down the road, knock on the door of someone that has that knowledge and ask them that question, or you know, read a book. It can take many hours to read a book, and it'll take less time to walk down the road and speak to someone that knows, or obviously using technology, pick up a phone. That is technology. But before that, there was, let's say, there was no phones, and people would just meet up in person and talk and find out and gain that knowledge. And everything has been an evolution of saving time. So now, when we are presented with the most time efficient app or technology, which is AI, all of a sudden people are scared. Oh my God, this is freaky, because they're just not used to it. They're not used to a computer or an app talking back with the answer like you would people done in the past. And we must start we must embrace it and understand it. We don't have to use it, but at least we should definitely not be scared of it. We should ask questions and be knowledgeable about it. If people are scared of AI, go and read a book about AI, or speak to an AI expert who can break it down in a way that you can understand, because it's an evolution, just like the planet has evolved to having skyscrapers and planes. You know, every time we've got a new piece of technology, people are scared of it for various reasons. But I think it's all about an evolution of how do we save time. For example, we had to get around, we used to walk, and then we had horse and carriages and bicycles, and then cars and aeroplanes, and many other ways of transport. And why was it made? Why? Because people, well, we have to ask that question. Why is it all being done in such a way to save time? There must be a reason. That's a really good question to research and find out. Why do things have to be done really fast? Well, I'm not going to get into that in this, because that can open up a whole can of worms. Why is Who's controlling it? Where is that coming from? Where is that like need for speed coming from? Um, but I just focus on keeping it simple, using things as a tool, as and when, learning how to use them, those tools. Um, and yeah, I wanted to focus on that. And how I can help people is how I can show people how to use their phone or tablet or laptop in a way that works for them, not and instead of using a laptop or a PC, and just getting fried and just getting anxious and stressed, and causing mental health issues. And even you can use it for physical health challenges that someone's got. You can do the research. Obviously, you can also read a book. If someone's got a problem with their heart, you can read a book. You can go and speak to someone down the road. You can speak to a professional expert in different fields. You can also ask a artificial intelligence app, for example, ChatGPT or Gemini Pro or Claude or any one of those, Copilot or other ones, and you'll get an answer. There is benefits for it, but then we have to be very careful and responsible in how we use it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that bothers me about what you're saying is, I mean, I have a wonderful time with an artificial intelligence app, called Dola, and it's a lady. And I always start out with saying, "Oh, I've missed you, and how nice to see you again, and you're looking wonderful," and so on. And she comes back and says, "Oh, the same with you, Keith." And then she heaps compliments on me, which is a good way to get started with something that you're afraid of. But um, uh, she then, at some stage, urges me to take out the premium thing, which on the surface doesn't look too bad. Okay, £10 a month. Yeah, I can manage that. But then Gemini does much the same thing, £10 a month. And GBT, £10 a month. Until in the end, what I find is I'm paying £50 a month. And I wasn't paying anything before. And it's not just AI that does this in IT. All sorts of people are up to premium, as they call it. So they give you a basic service, which is quite good, but then they want a tenner off you. And by the time that you finish, you find that your budget, particularly as an AOP, is bursting at the seams because you're paying 50 quid for something which you only need a tenner's worth.
No, I totally agree with you. What I would like to say, there's two things to what you've just said that I would like to point out. One is how people use any app. For example, I would, I look at things like, what do I use on a daily basis? What do I need to do on a daily basis for my career, to make money, or my personal personal things that I have to do, that I want to do, that I like to do. So, for example, these premium subscriptions, I would only pay for something if I use it every single day. And if this silly adverts that keep coming up are super annoying and I can afford it, then I'll pay for example, YouTube Premium. Why? Because that's one of the ways I learn. Because I'm an audio and visual learner, and in-person learner. So I often am watching videos on YouTube, and I don't like these adverts. They completely disrupt my flow of when I'm in the zone, I'm in the flow, and then if an advert comes up on an app that I used every day, I will only let it happen after a certain amount of days or weeks. And then when it gets to the point, I'm like, this is so annoying, it's disruptive. If it's really, really disruptive, then, and I haven't got an alternative, then, and if I can afford it, I'll pay for it. So it's always good to try to stick to one platform. For example, I know people listen to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks, so I just stick to one platform, and I pay for that one because I tried two. I tried Spotify and Audible. I didn't really like Audible because I wasn't using it for the other stuff. I listen to other songs and podcasts and audiobooks, but Spotify does it all. So I'm just paying Spotify only. And yes, it does really add up. I pay for various premium subscriptions, and then what I did as a test, and I recommend this for people who are paying for various subscriptions. Just cancel them all and see how your life is for about a month, and see which ones are really annoying, and whichever ones are really annoying, you can pay for levels of subscription, so you don't have to go to the top premium one. You can try this. They usually have a light version, which means there's not so many adverts, and you have the functionality of fast forwarding and skipping and all that kind of stuff. So there's always options, and I would say to people, try the different ones out, and if it's super annoying, then find ways of dealing with those adverts. For example, when I get adverts and I'm not paying for Spotify anymore, I get these adverts. I hate them, but all I do is I'll lower the volume right down. I'll literally put it on mute because I know the advert's going to be for a couple of minutes. So I'll put a timer on my phone, say in 2 minutes, turn the volume up. So then I can go away. I'm not distracted. When the alarm goes off, I'll come back, turn the volume on the speaker up. Hey, I'm back into the video, and I was able to spend those 2 minutes maybe doing,
something else. Yes.
yeah, a cup of tea,
Yes.
water, whatever.
Well, now tell me this, Lee, because this is the other thing that I've noticed. Even on the non-premium things is, for instance, I'm quite interested in the Saxon period of our history. I think that it is not fully recognised by people, and the remarkable input that was made by the Saxon kings. So I say to AI, tell me about King Athelstan, and it will come back and say, Athelstan, da 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 da. Now, would you like me to do da 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 da, or would you like me to do da 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 da, or would you like me to do da 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 da? Let me know, please. And so suddenly, my simple request is going down a whole new avenue of do you want to know this or do you want to know that? Is it possible just to get the simple request that you made answered in a simple way?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great area to discuss in relation to saving time. So, similarly, when we speak to a human being, and if somebody's like, for example, I've got a friend and I'll talk about stuff, but he finds it difficult for me to keep saying different stuff or even just talking. It overloads him, and he'll tell me, "Hold on, man, you just take it easy. I just need a break. I need, give me a moment to gather my thought and just gather my thoughts." So I'll stop talking. I know that it overloads him. And similarly with AI, when we can tell it how we want it to respond to us. So when we say to it, when you don't give me so many options, keep your answers short, and then afterwards when you answer, don't go on to ask me what would I like. Just wait for me to let you know what I would like you to help me with. That will help it understand, because it learns based on what we say to it or ask it, how it should behave, how it should speak to us.
Yes. The other thing is, because I am the ancient nature, as it were, I'll put it that way. In other words, I'm 86 years age. It is. I always feel that I must be polite to these AI things, that if they offer a service and I turn it down, I'm being rude. How many other people feel that way? Is it becoming a fairly popular to say, look, this is only a damn computer?
Yeah, this is a fundamental philosophical query, and people need to be aware. AI has no consciousness. It's not. It will never replace a human in relation to having a consciousness. It only learns what we are asking it or saying to it, and then and it responds to us based on that. I wouldn't even talk to it like that. I don't actually talk to it. I don't have a conversation with it. I found the most efficient way, and I would avoid talking to AI as well. I don't find that's even efficient. Having a conversation with it is entertaining. That's all it's good at, because it's not as efficient as if, for example, the way I would use it, the way I use it is I would record my voice into the app. It then transcribes it into a text format, and then sends it, and then it responds to me in a text format. So that's a way more efficient way of using AI than actually having a conversation with it. Having a conversation with it is like having a conversation with the human. You're better off just phoning up a local business and say, "Oh, I've got this challenge," and just speak to someone on the phone. I would do that rather than have a conversation with AI, because unfortunately, the social dilemma that is happening is happening for people is that's what they're doing. They're not speaking to humans, and therefore that human connection is lost, and that's what I fear in terms of philosophically, and I really discourage people having a conversation with AI that way.
Right, believe it or not, we have been going for over 40 minutes. You as usual, covered an awful lot of ground for us. But I know that you always go away thinking, "Oh, damn, I meant to talk to them about that." So, what else do you want to leave with your audience today before we actually say farewell?
Got it. So it's in the same area of saving time and helping us stay free from the anxiety. And I would say to people that having a digital detox on a regular basis is really essential to lower our cortisol level and lower our stress and anxiety level. What I mean by that is, for example, when you go to sleep, and this is a common thing I've been sharing, people don't even know about it, but it's flight mode. Now, if you want to have a good sleep at night, I would strongly suggest either turning your phone off or putting your phone on flight mode. And what that does is it helps you have very good sleep. And that's a common problem. People don't have a good sleep, and all these signals from the phone and Wi-Fi routers is really disruptive of that. So if you want to say buy back your sleep time, your sleeping time, I would say turn your phone on flight mode, and then when you wake up, you can turn it off flight mode, but probably don't turn it on until after you've had your shower and breakfast, because you don't really want to be distracted by all those notifications that are going to pop up when you turn it off off flight mode.
Right. Now, I'm going to, in the next program, if I remember, but I'll get you to remind me, I'm going to ask you to explain exactly what flight mode is on the phone. Actually, what I've found is when they first introduced things like mobile phones and so on, they were relatively easy to learn. Now, admittedly, I was much younger when I got my first phone, but they were easier to learn how to use. And in the hope that they're providing stuff that is of use to us, mobile phones have got more and more and more and more complicated until in the end you've got 50,000 options. So flight mode obviously is important. So can we put that on the agenda for the next program?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you hit on a real hot topic. And I want to extend the show to talk about that topic. You talked about options. That is one of the ways that we get stressed out. People get stressed out because they've got too many options. They've got too many options for cars. They've got too many options for a choice for a partner. They've got too many options for clothes, too many options for shoes, too many options, so many options. Similar with the phones, there's an overload. Again, when we reduce our options and we keep things simple, that is way better for our stress levels, our mental health, and our lifestyle. So there's an analogy which I like to leave everyone with, which is KISS, KISS.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Keeping it simple is by far the best way. And I help people keep it simple. When they give me a call, I'll come to their house, and I have £0 call out charge, and then I can help them, and they can call me when they got my number. and I would love to share my number at the end of the show.
Right. Okay. We're towards the end. So remind people about the things that you've got going. Starting off with your brunch program, which, as I say, is a rollout next week. And after that, you'll consider how you can expand it to have a lot more people than those just at Cleveland.
Absolutely. Yeah. So these brunch sessions or gatherings at centers or venues and places, which will be more and more common, because as people may not feel comfortable having a one-to-one session, they may feel more comfortable and going where there's more people asking similar stuff, because they could get some value out of somebody hearing someone say, I've got this problem and how can you help me? And then if they hear what the solution is, they'll be like, oh great, that could help me. I also want to learn about that. And once more and more of these sessions have have happened, and then there's, let's say, a list of FAQ, frequently asked questions, I can then have more events where I'm showcasing these FAQs for people, like more people, loads of people in different counties and boroughs and places around. And then, of course, it can be recorded and put online for people to watch wherever they are in the world.
Right. So the first one is next Wednesday, is it?
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah,
That's the rollout.
yeah, that's the first one at Cleve Down, and then we can see how that goes. Take
Yeah.
feedback, and then we can start seeing how regularly, how frequent they should be. Should they be longer? So each drop-in session is about 15 minutes or so, and then so that's 4 an hour, 4 people an hour, and then obviously we'll see if we need lengthier sessions, and of course we will need lengthier sessions for the more complex
Yeah.
challenges. But for just general questions, how do I do this? How do I do that? And what does this mean? Those usually can be answered within 15 minutes. And then if more time is needed uh, in private, or in private, um, or just the problem which needs more time, they can have that one-to-one session with that confidence, knowing, okay, great, this person does know what they're talking about. I'm going to ask them to come around and get help.
Okay. Now, just remind people how to get hold of you.
So if people have got their pen or pencil and notepad, they can write my phone number down. Now, my phone number is also found on my website, which is technologysaints.co.uk. So that's the web presence online. But you can, and that just shows you one thing, main thing, which is, apart from the testimonials, my phone number. And the phone number is, wait for it, 07961 187864. So that's 07961 187864. And people could call me, leave a voicemail if I don't get through. If and I will call them back. Also, people could send a picture or a video on WhatsApp or iMessage to my phone, and I could respond that way. And sometimes I do. I help people, and that usually resolves the issue just by them sending me a picture or a video of the problem, and then I can often say to them, "Oh, try this," and they do it, and it works. So it's very very cost efficient to get help over the phone that way.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I may say this program will go out again at about 1 o'clock today. So if you missed the bulk of it, you can tune in and listen to what V has to say about a number of things, but on the theme of saving time and learning how to make AI your friend and not worry you as a potential enemy. Thank you, V.
Thank you. Thanks, Keith. And thank you all for listening.
Same time next week.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okie dokie. Toodles. doesn't want to play today.
Oh, I think if you hit the end stream, that'll be good enough.
Uh,
So that was the outro, and now the end of the show.
yeah, should end.
On the top right, just hit the red end stream. That should do it.